Okay, so today's tomato review is going to be on the Blue Bayou. Okay, so I got a couple tomatoes here. This one's gone a little bit further ripened than I wanted to. I didn't have a chance to get to these tomatoes quick enough, and that one starting to take a turn for the worse, so I'm probably not going to be eating anything off of that one. But this one's still good for me to do a taste test on it. So let's take a look at it. And this is the Blue Bayou. And this is one of those tomatoes that produced the compound in it that is the same as what is inside of a blueberry, from what I understand. So these tomatoes were developed, I believe, in a laboratory or something to that effect. They were developed to produce this black anacreous or some kind of, I forgot what the name is called for that. But they're designed to produce this dark color on the tomato. And this dark color actually forms on a tomato because of the sunlight. It protects the tomato and the tomato plant from the sunlight. That's what these dark colors do for the plant. So anywhere you put this tomato in the sunlight, wherever that sunlight is highly exposed to this tomato, it's going to turn black. So you can see the bottom of it's orange, but the top part is black. That's because that's where the sun was hitting it. So this is the kind of a tomato plant where if you put it in a pot, you'd want to rotate that pot a little bit every day so the sunlight gets all the way around the tomato. And then for the very bottom, you could try putting aluminum foil on the bottom during midday sun so it reflects up to the bottom of the tomato so you could get the tomato fully black. Some people have done that and they get great results with it. But you have to be willing to go through all that to get the tomato fully black if you're looking for that type of look or presentation. Okay? So as you can see on the top here, where the calyx, I guess you would call, is connected to the tomato, you can see where it's like a star pattern. I'm going to remove that right now. And you can see where it left that pattern, and that's because the sunlight couldn't get to it to turn it black. So just make sure anytime you buy any of these black tomatoes, I'm not talking about like dark purple, like Cherokee purple tomatoes or purple Ukrainian purple tomatoes, not those kind of tomatoes. These specific type of tomatoes, Indigo Rose, the Black Beauty, the Black Bayou or Blue Bayou, or any of these tomatoes like that, you want to make sure that if they're going to have that black skinning effect, you got to get the sun all the way around them. All right, that's how you're going to get a truly black tomato all the way around. I may attempt to do that next year just to show you that you can do it. All right, so let's cut it open. And as you can see, it's got a beautiful pink color on the inside. What a gorgeous looking tomato. And this tomato is consistent every year. So it's a stabilized version of this tomato. I'm not sure how long this tomato has been actually produced and grown for, but it's a stable version. So you could save these seeds year in and year out, and you'll always get blue or black tomatoes out of it. But as you can see right here, you can see the skin on it. You can actually see the difference between the skin and the rind. So it's not blue all the way through the tomato. It's just the skin gets dark on it, which is a really cool effect. Now, this tomato, weirdly, looks like it has 3 chambers in it, but it should be a bi-chambered tomato. So sometimes you'll get weird anomalies with it, which not a big deal. But if you look at the rind, I don't really see wilding in the rind, so that tells me they used a commercial grade seed to cross it over to get this blue effect, however they did that. So they did something to the tomato to actually get that effect. So it's probably a commercial grade tomato that was crossed over. And as far as the size of the tomato, you can see the size of that diameter in my hand. That's about how big they get. They might get a little bigger than that, but not really, not that much bigger. They get about that size, and that's it. So that's about as big as this particular variety of tomato is going to get. All right, so let's cut it in half. Yeah, as you can see, there's the bottom of the skin where it's nice and dark. Now these skins, I would recommend you eat them because these skins have that chemical in it that is really a major antioxidant. That's why they actually developed this tomato. It's very, very good for cancers and other kinds of diseases. This blackness to this tomato skin is very important aspect of it. So I recommend you actually take the time out to actually chew these skins up. Whereas the other skins you can spit out, but these black ones, you want to chew these. But you can see what a gorgeous slice of tomato, right? Isn't that nice? Little tomato slice on there. What a gorgeous slice. Let's give it a go. Okay, this is going to be a little complicated, this one. This isn't an easy tomato review for this one. All right, what I can tell you about it, first of all, it's got this overwhelming over and undertone that is really awkward tasting. Most people wouldn't really like the taste of this tomato because it's overwhelming. It's stronger than the tardiness and sweetness combined. It's just very overwhelming aftertaste that comes in. It's almost a little funky. You got to be a tomato lover to really like the taste of this tomato. It's not a horrible tomato, but it does have a weird over and undertone to it. And so I'm not going to recommend this tomato to somebody who's not a big tomato fan. I don't recommend this tomato. This tomato is definitely for tomato lovers. You're going to have to like tomatoes a lot to want to eat these on a regular basis. They definitely have a weird tomato flavor. Now, as far as the sweetness goes, the sweetness was probably a 25, maybe 30, but more like 25. The tartness was way up. It was probably like a 40, possibly even 45. Very high in the tarty, was almost like a citrusy type of tartness. It was almost like a citrusy type of tartness. So it was the other end of the tartness. It was sour almost, where it makes your lips want to pucker. It had that kind of tartness to it. It wasn't a tarty, like a nice, smooth, tangy flavored of tomato. This one had like a lemony tartness to it. Just like make you pucker. But the thing about this tomato is that overwhelming, over undertone, whatever tomato flavor. I don't even know what you want to call that, but it's pretty strong. There is a tomato flavor to it, but that's like underneath this flavor that's overwhelming. There's this weird overtone flavor that overwhelms the taste of the tomato, which is the actual tomato flavor. Whatever that is very strong. So let me do it again. Yeah, it's got a very strong taste to it, guys. I don't know what that flavor is. It feels like it's in the seed part of it more than anything. It might be in the rind, but it's really coming from the seeds. The seeds are really got a really strange, earthy undertone, freaky undertone flavor. It's very strong. It's a very prominent flavor. So, I mean, I wouldn't, go out of my way to eat these particular tomatoes. I grow them because I save seeds from them. I trade seeds. I give seeds away, things like that. But for me, my particular taste, I wouldn't exactly gravitate to this tomato. As much as I like the black color, I guess if I'm looking to really, tantalize my guests with some weird stuff, I may do that thing with the tomato, make them fully black and put them in the sun. Put a bunch of them out with some cheddar cheese and stuff around that, and maybe chop up some garlic and mix it. I could do some creative stuff with it, with a really fully black tomato, just to grab my guests really weird like. But the taste is definitely awkward. It's very tangy. Now, I know people who are sensitive to tomato taste. They're very picky on tomato taste. They wouldn't like this tomato, guys. All right? Unfortunately, they wouldn't like this. So, and I know, believe me, I know my guests. I know what my guests like as far as tomato taste and flavors. As far as rating this tomato, for its uniqueness, as far as it being black and being able to do different things with it like that, the uniqueness part of it, I'm going to rate this probably around a 3 because it is a fantastic tomato, unique-wise. It's just really great looking tomato. It's fantastic. You could cut this thing up and put it out there and people would be like, wow, what is that? It'd be the talk of the day, Great looking kind of conversation piece, so to speak. As far as taste goes, 1 being the highest, taste is going to be down there around 5. I almost don't even want to grow these again because the taste is that awful to me personally. I grow them because of the uniqueness of that, and like I said, I can trade these seeds out with other people who really do want them, so, or I can sell them online or something, but as far as the taste goes, nah, that's definitely not working for me. And this isn't the first time I've had this issue with these. I remember last year, I don't know if I did a review on these last year, but this year I can tell you, I definitely, that awkward skunky taste in there is really awkward. People would be turned off by that. You almost got to put a warning sign, like put those tomatoes out there and put a warning. May taste foul to you. You know, so eat at your own risk. Well, I mean, like I say, taste-wise, rank is low, 5 on the scale. I'm not going to go to the point where I'd never grow it again, but I wouldn't go and buy the seeds again myself. As far as growing them again, I got the seeds. As long as if I save them every year, I'll just grow them every year. Hopefully, maybe I can redevelop the flavor in it, change some things up on the soil. I can get rid of that earthy flavor. Then we might have a different review. We might have something different to say about it. But as of right now, just growing it in regular soil, nothing for me to brag about. So, anyway, that's my review on the Blue Bayou or Black Bayou or Blue Bayou. Now, whatever the correct name will be in the description. That's my review on that tomato. And if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.